Oh, hello. Hello, pre-show. Oh, hello. Hello, pre-show. Oh, gotta mute the other ones. There we go. Okay, yeah, because we don't want to hear all that. We don't want to hear like 4 versions of this stuff. Or we gonna be in trouble. Actually. Actually. Big Goose! I wish. That'd be awesome. Wicked Kitten is. What's up, Wicked Kitten?
We'll go shopping at H&M. Actually, that would be really helpful because I don't have any girlfriends or like IRL friends. Oh, I do IRL friends, but they do. And I can't take them to H&M with me.
Did you meet them all on ChristianMingle.com?
No.
Isn't there a farmer one too? No, I think it's just like farmer dating site. Go on with your mall statement. I'll find it. Don't worry.
Anyway. That is him. And because I go and I like to try on stuff because it's cheap. And I don't know if it looks good because nobody's telling me. Oh, it's super low.
You're super low. Hold on. We can fix this. Whoa.
Farmers only? Only. I only date farmers.
Just.
Because you know why? They wake up early. They're good with their hands. And they smell like manure.
Does she sound better now, guys? I did some adjusting. Okay, hold on.
This really cheap headset from China. And it's got a thing on it, and it just sort of like bounces against me while I'm playing. So I stick it in my bra strap. That's where that goes.
Cool story, bro. What the hell is going on here? What is this? Why does that look like shit? What the hell? Pre-show, this is not working.
That's why we have a pre-show.
Who's echoing? Who's echoing in here?
You guys want to know why I'm
What
so
the
tall?
fuck?
Because I'm so basic.
Oh!
Delicious. It tastes like autumn. And it reminds me of burlap and mason jars with tea lights in them. And when I get married, everybody's gonna sing Hey Bales.
Is that like shabby chic?
Fat, I'm Pinterest.
Oh, you sound more louder now. Did you just change something?
I touched nothing.
You just got louder.
I touched myself.
Don't do that. We're gonna get kicked off of Twitch, guys. She sounds louder to me. She likely sounds louder to you. Let us know. Thank you.
Hey Bales? Yeah, what? It was concrete hayride or like a regular hayride. I can't remember. And somehow I got hay in my pants. And I got like a straw. Like, what do you call a single hay?
Align to your mic, please, while you're saying this.
What do you call a single hay?
There you go. That's much better. You're just off your mic. A single hay?
Yeah, what do you call a single hay?
A straw?
A straw
A
of
straw
hay?
of hay?
Straw of hay.
Is that it?
Straw of hay?
Guys, does she sound better closer to her mic like that now? She sounds a lot better here. Here. Sayer says there it is. Hay is apparently just grass that has been mown and dried for use as fodder. Did you know that the past tense of mowing is mown? M-O-W-N? Mown. It's been mown.
We still got echo.
Which of us is echoing?
I didn't know that about hay. Anyway.
What's up, Archives?
I had
Archives.
a a flute of hay. That's one hay in my butt, like in my butt cheeks, you know, like my little kid butt cheeks. It sucked a lot.
That sucks.
Yeah, it sucked a lot because it gets itchy, you know? And like it sucked so much that I remember it now that I'm almost an adult. So,
That's a lot of suckage. That's like a long time of suckage.
I know. It's like when I was little and I ate that piece of pizza out of an ashtray. Like it tasted so bad that I still remember it to this day. I found a hay in my butt. Hey.
Hey.
No, it's all right though. It's fine. It's fine. You know what? It's fine because I learned from that. Um, I learned from that experience, and that is when you go on to a hay ride, haunted or otherwise, do not put hay in your pants. It's kind of simple. Yeah, it's kind of simple. This is why we do pre-show, by the way.
This is true.
Audio is very difficult. It's like more difficult than rocket scientry or being a scientician or heart surgery or learning to swim.
I can't imagine trying to learn to swim now. Like I learned that so when I was so young that I can't imagine what it'd be like to try and learn that now.
Yeah, I don't know. Rocket surgery? Was that like okay, if I was a dick doctor, I would write rocket surgeon on my little tag. And they'd call me Rocket Man. Burn it out his fumes in the operating room, working on dicks all day with tools, you know, like
Dick tools?
dick tools. I don't have any handy. Oh wait, I've got this sword.
Oh yeah. You're just gonna have to stay centered on your mic though, because every time you get off of your mic, you're getting quiet again.
Man,
Your mic's
how
being
am I supposed to be
extra
animated?
sensitive right now, so
I'm
if you're
extra
not like right on
sensitive right now too, actually.
it. Okay, let's end this here pre-show, and we'll be back in a minute.
About 80s ladies, spandex, silk shirts, big perms, short skirts, first girl, hot BB, stop it, Full House, Lori Loughlin, then Elizabeth Shue, Karate Kid 1, not Karate Kid 2, y'all already know who used to drive me crazy, hair go big like top-down Mercedes, yo I missed one, hold up, wait, ain't nobody finer than Phoebe Cates, Kathy, Cindy, Brinkley too, I stay stuck like super glue, I love MC Light and Lisa Bonet, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Many the name, yo! Kids today, they don't understand. Oh, the 80s were gnarly, like totally, man. Better bikes, better bass, better cars too. Better tunes, better rooms, better cartoons. PG-13 movies still showed lots of boobies. Man, what's better than that? Nothing actual fact. In the 80s, MJ still looked black. Used to stay up real late. Elvira looking real great. I was a Cali kid. Niners, Raiders, picked the wrong one to get labeled a traitor. Playing outside, playing
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and I use that term loosely
We call
because
moose.
you're here, which means that you are neither ladies nor gentlemen, but you are indeed hanging with us, and we're glad you're here. Welcome back. It's been a couple weeks. I was out, but we're back, and it's on. So how are you guys? What's going on? Fist, how are you?
Hey, leave me alone.
That's not gonna make for a very entertaining hour then.
Don't talk to me before I've had my coffee.
Oh, that's interesting because I don't like you anytime. I don't like you anytime, any day,
You messed
anytime.
that up so bad. That was bad. It was terrible.
No, it's pretty much like exactly how it goes.
Actually, no, it goes, you wouldn't like me before I've had my coffee. And then the joke makes sense.
Isn't that what you said?
No, that's not what I said at all.
What'd you say?
I don't remember now, but it wasn't that.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hi, guys. This is the LB stream. This is not the Lagging Balls podcast. That comes out like tomorrow or the day after or something like that. This is the Lagging Balls stream or the LBS or the LB stream or whatever. And it's just us chilling on a Friday night with you guys, hanging out, talking about shit, you know, stuff. Usually we talk about gaming, specifically Blizzard Gaming. But here we just talk about random shit. What's this doing? Yeah, so like two things that are like completely different, but also the same.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of gesture I would have chosen to describe that. That's it. That's exactly it. If we get banned off of Twitch for that, then Twitch has gone too far. Twitch has gone too fucking
Listen,
far.
I saw XQC do a lot of things today on Twitch, okay? He did a lot of stuff.
Did he play with his hair?
He did. He did play with his hair.
Did he drink a lot of soda?
Yep.
Did he speak any French?
No. I mean, he hardly ever does.
Did he speak too fast for you to understand?
No, I understand.
No way you got all of that.
Dude, totally. When you grow up in Canada, like you're, especially in Ontario, or I guess especially in Quebec, but like in Ontario, we get all the French TV stations. We get a lot of French people. We've got like French teachers and all that, and they speak very quickly, and you just sort of understand. Like when I was growing up, there were two music television stations. There's Much Music, which is Canada-wide, and Musique Plus, which is Much Music in French. So I'd watch both because like they'd still play like the same music videos, except more because there'd be French ones as well, and it was all good. It's music. It's good. Could understand it back then. It's fun.
I mean, Much Music sounds like a whole lot of music.
It was for a while until they started doing like, I don't know, what do you call it in the States? Fucking
Shows?
No.
Did they go the MTV way?
MTV, that's it. Yeah, they started doing like stupid MTV things, and then they actually like picked up MTV shows and put them on the station instead of showing.
Oh no.
When I
It's
was
just like not only just as bad as MTV, they're literally reusing the same shit that we started to hate about MTV. I mean, there were a few classics, but they just stopped being music television altogether.
No, it was fucking awful. When I was 17, I think, I was
It
like,
was a very good year.
yes. Stop derailing my thoughts. Okay. When I was 17, I was this punk kid, right? I had like choppy pink hair. All of my stuff had like safety pins on it and studs, and like I painted like pentagrams and anarchy symbols all over the place, and like I wore really short skirts, like really, really short skirts, and like really tall boots, like platform boots. And I wore all the makeup, you know, just all over the place. And me and my friend, hey Taryn, me and my friend, we got my friend's dad to drive us all the way to Toronto. So it was like 2 hours, all the way to Toronto because AFI was going to be at Much Music and we were going to see AFI. So we went, and it took ages and ages and ages. And I got really, really car sick because she was trying to watch the Scooby-Doo movie on a laptop in the car, and I can't do shit like that because I get really sick, right? So we drove there, and it was this big hassle. And I remember we were staying at her aunt's place, and her aunt saw me walk through her door, and the first thing she did was like grab a fistful of my hair, and she's like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting it to be soft," because she'd never seen like pink hair before, because this was back before everybody had pink hair.
Jesus.
Right?
Rude. Don't touch my hair.
I know. The day after I dyed my hair, I went to school, and one of the Debbies, that's what we called like the popular girls, one of the Debbies was like, "Hey, Ozzy Osbourne, you're a Satan worshiper."
Hey,
like,
hey, thanks. He's a legend of rock. Appreciate that.
I was like, yeah.
Dumb fuck.
I don't know. Anyway.
Fucking Debbies.
So anyway, we get
The
to Much
Debbies.
Music. The Debbies. So we go to Much Music, and we're waiting for AFI, and it's so weird because like you know, like on what's it called, MTV? On MTV, like you know, like there's like you can go and just like sit and watch the
They
VJs
can
talk.
they
you
are
know?
like Total Request Live kind of shit. Is
Shit
what you're
like
talking
that. Yeah. So we were put into this like waiting room, and then we were all gonna go out and sit like where the cameras are and stuff, and just sort of be part of the scenery and shit like that. So, we get into this waiting room, and on one side of the room, it's like all these gothy punk kids, and I'm right at home, right? But on the other side of the room is all these fucking Abercrombie Fitch jerks,
Uh-oh.
you know, like those dicks, right? And we're all like staring at each other, like. The
Those
fuck are you
that's quite the
doing here?
clash of
Hey,
yeah.
but we're all Canadian, so you know it's fine. But it's like, what the fuck are you doing, buddy? Like, what are you here for, eh? So that's my accent. So we all go in, and the goth kids are like on one side, and the other kids are on the other side, and we realize the fucking AFI is not there. They canceled. But you know what they're doing tonight? They're premiering a Beyonce video. So there's fucking like, it was the weirdest fucking thing. It was just like goth kids on one side, regular kids on the other side, glaring at each other, fucking Beyonce music all over the place. It was, you know, like it was a thing. It was actually really
Hey,
funny.
it could have been way worse because Beyonce is at least respectable, whereas, you know.
Well, yeah, but we wanted to see AFI. That's okay though. It was good
Well,
for
that's too bad because AFI really sucks. So.
No, they're good. They're real good. Davey Havoc is very talented. But yeah,
There said an ultimate Canadian stare down followed by a lot of sorries.
we were so sorry. But I'll never forget. I saw my favorite VJ, George Stroumboulopoulos. Love him.
Hey, how do you spell that name?
Stroumboulopoulos. So I saw him and it was great.
Wait. How do you spell that name?
Stroumboulopoulos. So I saw
What
him.
the
and it was
fuck?
great. I had this huge crush on him, right? But then on the way out, one of the security guards wasn't wearing his regular like security guard black T-shirt. He was wearing this T-shirt with Trogdor on it.
Fuck yeah.
I know, and I was like Trogdor, and he's like, yeah, and I'm like, please don't bust me.
Don't bust me
Alright.
because I got pink hair and
Yeah,
I look like
Please,
a punk.
man, I've got hay in my ass. I mean, not anymore.
I suffer from
but
hay ass.
Yeah, hay ass.
Hay ass.
Hay ass in my ass. Not like in it though, just like, you know.
Right. Not in my ass.
Right. Just like there's like a force field before you get into the actual.
Yeah. Hey, I went to like the taping of a show once. It was a video game show.
Oh,
It was
yeah?
like this dude would be like they'd do like speed throughs of games, and then there was this dude who was like the ultimate like mind of like knew every trivia there was about any game, and there was like I remember there being a setup for the studio where you could watch. They had the live audience thing as well that was also like on stage, but they were like elevated and behind a chain link fence. So he came around and like greeted everybody before the show, and we were all hype as fuck because the show was popular at the time. I gotta find out what that was called. But it's totally a video game show, which is like so spot on for what we do now.
I mean, yeah. Isn't that funny? You know what's really funny? It's like I went to when I graduated from high school. I was like, oh fuck, now what? You know, I was just like,
Yeah, as you do.
shit. I was absolutely in no position whatsoever to make any like giant life decisions because I was still a kid, and up until then I'd just been playing WoW and base and sleeping and eating grilled cheese and Jelly Bellies probably, and
Those are all pretty good things, though.
probably. So I chose to go to college for radio broadcasting.
For Shrug.
Well, I was like flipping through. I remember I was like on my bed listening to Rush, eating Jelly Bellies, and I'm just like flipping through the college magazine thing, and I'm like, okay, no, math, no, nursing, no, fuck, no, early child care, something new,
That was even in consideration?
botany. I don't know.
Were
it was
all
in
these things
there.
like seriously in consideration, or are you just looking, just like
I'm just looking.
browsing?
But I can't
Browsing,
do.
browsing.
I can't do those things. I don't know math. I don't care enough about my fellow man to be a nurse, and I certainly don't care enough about my fellow man to take care of children. You know.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I settled on radio broadcasting because I was like, I play music. I play bass. I like being in a band. My goals for my life so far are to play bass in a band and be really cool and get groupies, because that was my thing.
Yeah,
And
that's a good thing. That's a solid thing.
yeah. So I applied for that, and I also applied for like a college really far away from musical theater, because I was like, I can sing, who cares? So I got into both. I chose the one that was closer to home, so I didn't have to move because I was lazy. So that was radio broadcasting. So I did that for a semester. So that was long enough to learn how to like use audio equipment and like learn how to speak on the radio, and how to fear dead air, like
Yeah.
I always have to be talking like when something's recording, like it freaks me out otherwise.
Yeah, and that's just like in a single semester they not only covered like all the basics, but they also instilled that fear in you, which is super useful for anything audio oriented. Like you really stick to that, and that's been a really good thing for us for this content we've produced. So I can't
Yeah.
believe you got that much out of a single semester.
I can't either, but it was a while. It was a long semester. So anyway, I quit after that because I realized that I hated radio, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Am I just gonna like go on the radio? And like the thing about radio is like you have to, it's like being a tattoo apprentice, like you have to be an intern, and you have to work on Christmas. You have to work all these days that nobody wants, because that's the only time that you get on air. And I was like, I'm not willing to do that. I'm not gonna, because I don't care enough. So I'm out.
Fair enough.
So I dropped out, and then I went and started working and trying to figure out what the hell I was going to do next. And then I decided to go back to the same college, but for theater, because I'm an idiot. But I figured, oh, dude, I can act, whatever. Turns out, yes, I can. Turns out, I don't like it. So, fuck. But I was really, really good at special effects makeup. So I kicked ass at that.
I've seen your work on that, and that's fucking badass.
Thank you. So I graduated from theater, and I majored in makeup. And then I was like, hey, I'm going to be a cool special effects artist makeup thing. And that's where my life was headed, for a while. But it's interesting because like the podcast thing didn't start, like I wanted to start doing podcasting 2010 maybe, something like that. And then 5 years later, we started Lagging Balls. So it was kind of interesting because I had these skills, like with radio, you learn how to like make things and edit things. And like I learned how to use like sound effects and make bumpers and shit like that. And then with the theater part, you learn how to, be on, I guess. Which is also important.
As in the
Stuff.
presence,
Yeah.
like the performer presence.
Yeah.
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 That's a severely underrated thing to learn and master.
I don't know if I've mastered it. We had this class called Voice and Movement, and it was taught by an actual mime. She was like a clown.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she like.
Wait, a mime and a clown?
Yeah.
Wait, are all mimes clowns?
No,
Are all clowns mimes?
no, they're all performance artists though.
Okay.
So in French Canada, like in Quebec, mimes and clowns are huge. Like they're a big part of their culture. So she was, very French Canadian, and she made us do all types of shit. Like we had to like lay on our backs with our eyes closed, and like she would take us on this journey, like she'd like talk about shit, and she'd come by and like she would like touch us on not the crotch, but like above the crotch, like slightly, and she'd be like
the pelvis?
Yeah, she'd be like, breathe through your psoas muscles.
Your
Come
what?
on, your psoas muscles.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. It was interesting because like I
Would she
forgot.
make that face?
Oh yeah.
Performers are so fucking weird.
I know. We had to make
I mean,
masks.
case in point. Like,
Yeah. No, it was all fucked up. But what else? One time we went on a super long journey, so we're all laying down on the floor, and the lights went out, and she took us on this journey, and like some of my more thespian classmates would be like, oh, wow, God, oh no, wow, like they'd be like reacting to it. I fell
What?
asleep. I fell asleep, and they turned the lights on, and they all stood up, and I didn't, because I was asleep. And then when I woke up, everybody was staring at me, and they're like, are you okay? And I was like, I wasn't finished my journey. And they're like, oh, okay, sorry, take your time. And I'm like, cool, go back to sleep. So this teacher, she went out, and she went to like some clown thing, I forget. And so we got this like even bigger clown, like he was like an actual clown, like the pants and everything, not the makeup, but everything else. And he was more into like acrobat and shit like that. He made us do this weird shit exercise. So he actually put down mats though. That was nice. Our other teacher never put down mats. We were always like laying on the floor. But he put down some mats, and he's like, okay, this is an hour-long class. What I need you guys to do is I'm going to turn down the lights, and you're all going to lay on your back, and you're going to put one arm up in the air in front of you. And I want you to concentrate on putting your arm down slowly for the entire hour. And he
Holy
explained
shit.
Yeah. And he's like, some of you are going to have crazy reactions to this. Some of you are going to have panic attacks. Some of you are going to cry. Some of you are going to be able to do it. Some won't. But you just have to try. And you have to like try to put your body through this and shit like that. So that was like the weirdest hour of my life, because I'm just like laying there with my fucking arm in the air, and like keeping your arm up for a while is okay. I got it. I don't have any muscles in my arms. Like the only muscles in my arms are my wrists because I game, but that's it. Like I don't like, this is all like, I don't know, Jello or something. So I'm just keeping it straight. And then I figured once I get closer to the hour ending, then I can fucking just put my arm down. I was just trying to cheat the system, like the
That's
clown
exactly what I
system.
was thinking. Just now when I was thinking, how would I do that?
I
Yeah.
know. So I'm just laying there with my arm up, and like you can't sleep because you have to like fucking concentrate on this stupid arm thing. Fucking all of my friends bursting into tears, just fucking wailing. Bitches are crying, screaming, wailing, moaning. Like it was fucked up, dude. And like the lights are all low and shit like that. And like whenever somebody quit, clown dude would like grab a jacket, didn't matter if it was the jacket of the person who quit, just any jacket, and he would just like drape it over that person. Just go sleep.
Man,
Sleep.
I hope you wouldn't get like the guy with the bad BO's jacket.
Don't even. Oh god, that's another story. It's not about BO, but it's actually probably worse. Oh man, college stories. I didn't mean to start talking about
Hey,
this.
no,
but...
keep going though, and then we'll go to the next. We'll go.
Okay,
to
well, long story short, I didn't complete it. I thought this is fucking stupid.
Wait, so what did you do?
I fucking put my arm down. I was like, I'm done. Fuck it.
Fine, give me a coat.
Nail me. Yeah, so I got a coat and I went to sleep. But so early on in this like voice and movement class, we had to like pick somebody we didn't know very well, because like we were all trying to get to know each other better. And I can see the merit of that if like you're acting with each other and stuff. Like you have to be comfortable. And let me tell you, when you're like in a theater group with people for 2 years, you get to know each other very well.
Sweet Jesus, yes.
Very well. So we all had to
Let
like.
me just throw in a side note that I was a theater minor in college. That's why I'm agreeing to this, because I actually have some background of my own. Go on.
So my friend Matt, he got partnered up with this kid, Jimmo. And Jimmo, he's
Jimmo?
nice. Jimmo. His name is Jimmo. We also had a girl in our class called Aqua Chocolat.
What?
Aqua. Her name was Aqua Chocolat. And she was always drinking water. Always. Because her name was Aqua. Anyway.
Because it's thematic.
Yeah, she was always eating poutine, and she stole from Walmart. But that's those are minor details.
You got like stories within stories going on. This is like
Yes, I do.
Inception college theater story stuff. I love it. Keep going.
I know. Okay, so Jimmo, nice kid, but he had acne, like crazy. Yeah, water chocolate. So he had acne like crazy, and it can't be helped. We were all fairly young, right out of high school, whatever. So we're all in partners, and I was partnered with Amber, and our teacher told us to start giving each other massages. Cool, that's hot. Amber's nice.
All right.
Whatever, I'm down with it. But it wasn't like sexy massage, it was fucking face massage. So she's like, everybody just like lay back onto your partner's knees. Like we're kneeling down. We're getting like face massage and our teacher's like telling us how to do it and stuff and rubbing the cheeks and whatever. And then we had to switch. So after the class, I go up to my friend Matt because we're like BFFs. And Matt's like holding his hands out like this. And I'm like, dude, what's wrong? And he's like, all of these pimples just burst in my hand. And now I need to go wash this off. And yeah. That was also the year
Sweet Jesus, that is fucking disgusting.
I know. Also the year that Jimmo's brother died, which is really sad. But then, there's like this clique in the group of like girls who are also Wiccan. Like I totally respect Wiccan and
Wait,
stuff like that.
group?
It wasn't a group, it was a clique. So like I respect that, whatever. But they took it too far, you know, because they're theater kids, right? So they're all like, oh,
Everything has to go too far, of course.
the ghost of Jimmo's brother is here. Oh, fuck,
Jesus
you know? And they
Christ.
kept like talking about that. And it was like so disrespectful, dude. It's like, I don't care if you think that Jimmo's dead brother is here with us. You know, just recently after he died, he wanted to go to fucking college and watch a bunch of idiots touch each other on the face. I don't think so. But sure, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. And then there was Daniel.
Uh-oh.
Daniel's he was a special guy.
Uh-oh. How so?
He fancied himself an American hero.
What?
Yep. All he wanted to be in life was a karate star who was also American. But he was Canadian. And not a karate star. Although I hear he's doing very well at karate these days. But anyway,
Hey, good for him. Is he American now?
I don't know.
Is he a star?
Sure. But
Then he's got 2 of the 3.
the first time I met him, it was theater history on the first day, and I was sitting by myself. And there was a desk next to me, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Can I sit here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but you can't look at me." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And he goes like this, and he just like fucking looks around and I'm like, "Dude, I'm kidding. Holy shit." So, you know, don't joke with him. He doesn't get it. So I'm hanging out with my friend Matt. We all know him by now. Like he's just a little, you know, he's a nice guy. So Dan is like walking around in the hallways, and my college had recently installed hand sanitizing dispensers on the walls, you know, for fun.
As you do.
Yeah, sure. So he's walking around. Matt and I are spying on him because, you know, we're mean. And he goes up to one of the dispensers and he like, you know, pushes it, rubs it on his hand, smells it. It smells good. Lemon. It's nice. Takes another pump. Wipes it in his hands. Puts it in his eyes.
What the fuck?
I don't know. To this day, I don't know.
Wouldn't that stuff like burn in your eyes?
Yeah, it did. Because he was fucking crying. He's like, oh, you know?
Wait,
And,
did he
like-
like have his eyes? This is making my eyes water. Did he have like his eyes open when he did this?
I don't know what he was doing, but like, you know how when you're watching somebody who's weird and you really want them to do something fucked up, and it never happens?
Yeah.
That time it happened, and like Matt and I, we were literally like, he was taller than me, we were peeking around a corner, and his head was above my head, and we were just like peeking and watching, and like
Like a
we
TV
couldn't-
show.
we couldn't even laugh because it was so fucked up. Like we just, you know, it was, I don't know, it was just,
What the hell?
it was a strange fellow, but you know, he was nice, so
It's awesome.
whatever.
Well, I hope he soon becomes American and famous.
I mean, yeah.
and that's somebody's around to keep his hands out of his eyes.
Poor Dan. But yeah.
Did you? So you got into the makeup side of things? Were you on like the tech side as well? Were you on the AV side at all? Did you act?
I acted.
Did everybody have to act?
Yeah. For
Did everybody have to do everything?
Yeah. Everybody had to do everything. I wasn't that good at like the technical stuff, like lighting and sound and all that. But yeah, no, I acted a lot, and everybody had to do like a final play. And then there was 3 final plays, and like everybody was in charge of something different for each play. So like in one play I was acting, in another play I was doing costume, and another play I was doing makeup. So for the one I was acting in, they picked me specifically because I had boobs, like big boobs. And they needed somebody for that part because that person had to wear a corset.
There you go.
Yeah. So I totally got typecast, but it was fine. But it was interesting because like the whole play consisted of like 3 platforms, and like one person was in the middle platform, one person was on there, and another. So it was like 3 people, and it was all on the telephone. So we're all just like standing there pretending to be on the telephone. And like at one point I had to like take a tube of lipstick out of my cleavage, and and at another point I had to like rip off the shirt I was wearing to like reveal. No, it wasn't a shirt. It was a fucking nightgown or something, and I had to untie it. And then, I'm wearing the corset and whatever. And like the cool part was like the phone receivers had these like, phone cords.
Yeah,
that
like
went
the
up
old school ones.
Yeah. They went up to the ceiling, and like the more the conversation got tangled, the more we got tangled. So it was kind of neat.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, it was pretty visually cool. But yeah, just boobs everywhere. And it was funny because like right before that I was in this like weird sort of like abstract dance type play type thing. So I had to wear all black, and I couldn't wear a corset because we're like slithering around on the ground because it's fucking theater and nobody gives a shit, right? Everything doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. Like there's no sense. Maybe that's why I didn't like being a thespian, because like I never got it, It's like I don't understand why we're doing something that I don't understand why we're doing it, you know? And everybody else is like, oh yeah, and like flipping their scarves, and just like and I'm like, the fuck are we doing? Like I don't fucking get this. Like why am I squishing across the floor? Like I don't understand. But anyway, so I'm wearing all black. Then when that ends, my thing's up in like 5 minutes. So as soon as I walk behind the partition, somebody grabs me. The stage manager fucking grabs me, takes my top off, and fucking squeezes me into a corset and like ties it up in the back. And I've got like 2 people like holding it shut. And then
Holy
it's got
shit.
all these like hook and eyes here. So they're doing that up. Somebody's in the back, and it's all in the dark.
Jesus.
And like everybody knows
Skills.
what's happening, so everybody like has to clear out for a few minutes while I get like attacked by these women.
At least they were women.
I didn't even care at that point because like it's just like you have to go so fast, like it doesn't even matter, But the worst part was I had to keep the tube of lipstick in here, the whole time. So by the time I'd pull it out to use it on stage, I was like crazy in that play, so I had to like smear it all over my face or whatever. But it really was melted. Like it was just completely melted by the time I put it on. But that's just an anecdote that went
There you
nowhere.
go. No, that's, you know what? That's just speaks to the craziness and psychoticness of theater. And the funny thing is, as crazy as that stuff is, and as much as, I guess, as little sense as it seems to make from the outside, there are so many elements of that craziness, and there's so many elements of like the sheer psychoticness of this stuff that you can see being genuinely helpful for a professional actor. Like the things that we had this really great professor at Marquette, who has since passed, but she was pretty nuts along with everybody else, and like she just looked like a theater professor, you know what I mean? Like she just always wearing something flowy and shit like that, and like if you had to guess what she taught at the university, you would have guessed theater because she just looked the part. And she had a lot of like really strict rules, I guess. That it sounds like some of the people that you learned from might have had in common, and some of those things were like one of the classes was about I don't remember if it was specifically about fabric, but it was part of the costuming segment, right?
Right.
And you had to learn fabrics by touch. So people were literally making like boards of like all the different fabrics, and then the final exam was to like put your hand in a box where you can't see what you're touching, giggity, and name all of the fabrics that you're touching. So you had to, that was your final exam. So like,
Fabric toucher.
yeah, and then so I had that thing as well where you had to lay down and like do exercises for basically my version of voice and movement, and I totally passed the hell out as well. Except the difference is I snore like a goddamn train, so there was no question about whether I was asleep or not. In fact, they had to stop what they were doing and wake me the hell up, which was really embarrassing.
That's bad, dude.
Yeah, it was really bad.
You know, one of the most valuable things I learned in college is how to sleep anywhere. And I did. I think I've told the story on the stream before, but like
I think so. That's awesome.
Every building was labeled with like a letter, and I think my main building was like C building or N building, I can't remember. But I made a point to like fall asleep in each building before I graduated. I succeeded.
Proud of you.
Thank you. The best was like finally figuring out how to fall asleep in a bathroom stall. Cause like you don't touch anything, you know, this is gross. But like if you sit on the can with your pants on, whatever, and then you have to find a stall with a particularly like protrusive like toilet paper dispenser. Cause then you can lean onto it and put your head on it and just, you know, and then like so your ass is on the can, but your body's on the toilet paper dispenser, and then you just go to town, you know, and fucking sleep bill, woo woo, you know, going to sleep. Fuck. But then like
that's quite the talent though. Like falling asleep anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
That's no joke. That's hard to do.
Yeah, and it's Canada, so it's always cold, right? So I always had this big green puffy jacket with this great big furry hood, right? So like I could go anywhere and just pop the hood up and like, you know, disappear under the giant coat that was too big for me, and I just like it was like I wasn't even there. I did that in front of my locker one time, and this cleaning lady like poked me to make sure I was still alive. That was nice of her. But yeah, I was totally alive.
Excuse me,
no,
miss.
everything's fine. Yeah, she's like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. It's all good. It's okay. But you know, like after a while of doing that, you start to figure out like where all the couches are and like cushy chairs
Oh,
around
hell yeah,
campus.
hell yeah.
And then since I was a radio dropout, I knew that if you listen to student radio while you're at college, they announce when there's like career days and shit, and then you know that they have free donuts and coffee, or like,
Oh hell yeah.
you know, like they'd always announce shit like that, so you always go because there's always free food. And when you're a college student, you're literally always hungry and broke, so you have to find the free
Yeah,
food
and
to survive.
And in your case, apparently commuting, because
Yeah, also
you
commuting.
shouldn't have been spending that much time in public places, having that you clearly couldn't go back to a dorm room. So
Yes, that's right. That was like the night I only went to a few parties in college because it was really lame. No, actually, it was really cool actually because I was going home and play World of Warcraft.
hell yeah.
But, yeah. There was one night I went to a party in my friend's dorm room. It was Jenna's dorm, and we went in there. It was
Oh, Jenna.
Jenna. She was. Anyway, so there was like only a few dudes there, and one of the dudes was Jerome, and he was my bro. You know, like we're friends.
Jenna and Jerome.
Yeah, I called him Jomer, but that's a different story. So me and Jomer,
Wait, who was the guy from before? Jimmo?
there's Jimmo and also Matt. Matt was my friend.
Jimmo, and now
Jimmo was the guy with acne,
and then
Dan was the
Jomer?
guy who put the fucking hand sanitizer in his eyes. Yeah. So Jerome was my other friend, and he and I had had enough of the stupid party because it was dumb, and we couldn't go home. Like he was commuting somewhere, and I was commuting somewhere. So Amber's like, "Hey, why don't you guys go and sleep in my dorm?" Because everybody's getting drunk and like doing shit, and we're just
And
like,
they
no.
probably thought that you two were trying to get it on because the two of you wanted to leave.
So what happened? What happened was
What happened was,
we went to Amber's place. She took us there, and then she left. And we are two polite Canadian friends. And I say, "Please, Jerome, take the bed. I will sleep on the floor."
oh
And
boy.
he said, "No, Jess, you take the bed. I will sleep on the floor." And we're like, "No, no, no, you do it, you do it." So we both end up sleeping on either side of the bed on the floor. And I used a textbook as a pillow because that's what you do. And then I had a psychology exam the next morning,
Wow.
and my neck hurt. And that was
Wow.
yeah, that was a wild night in college, you guys.
Did
For
your
yours truly.
did your mom think anything of you staying the night at the campus, or like was
Oh,
that unusual,
fuck.
or
No. My mom's cool. She was probably like, "Oh wow, I hope that my friggin' Cheeto eating nerd daughter is going out and getting some finally." No, she wouldn't say that. No, she might though. But yeah. No, that was the only time that I stopped playing WoW because I was gonna fail. I was just like staying up all night
Yeah.
playing WoW as usual, but like, So I missed a few subscription months somewhere in there, and I regret it so much. That could have been time well spent playing games. But alas,
Alas, IRL has been getting in the way since 2005.
it really has. I mean, kinda. I haven't really let
I
it.
did have a really sweet time in my life where I worked for a government agency, and they had summer hours for that job. So like during like the 3 months or so of summer, you could like, I think it was like you'd work an extra half hour a day or something like that, and then you'd get every other Friday off or half day or something like that. So I just went to like a gaming center and played Warcraft on their gaming computers that whole time.
Turns out you're smart. Who
And
knew?
yeah, I didn't tell anybody else that I had that time off. Nobody knew that I had any time off. Like none of my friends or anything. And I just went to that gaming center instead the whole time.
Priorities, dude.
Yeah, man. Like, come on. You got this addiction. It's called World of Warcraft. Because
Hey, it could be
motherfuckers keep
worse.
making this
It
game
could
so
be-
good.
Heroin. I mean, that's bad,
Yeah, it definitely could have been heroin.
WoW's good. Drugs are bad. Well, most drugs are bad. Most drugs are bad.
Bad,
Warcraft, good.
bad drugs.
Drugs, drugs, drugs. Some are good, some are bad. Drugs, drugs, drugs. Ask your mama, ask your dad.
What was that from?
It was from a commercial from my youth,
Yeah, but what were those?
my Canadian
called?
youth.
What were those
Oh,
Canadian commercials? What were they?
fucking members of the Concerned Children's Advertising.
Weren't they? Oh, I was thinking of the Heritage Minute, but that's clearly not.
No.
Heritage
If you
Minute
were,
is, like,
if you were
Canadian
Canadian,
history
you would know what a
versus-
Heritage Minute is.
Yeah, versus
Bitch.
this was more like a PSA, it sounds like.
It was, and it worked. I didn't touch drugs until I was 22. So like
Wow.
last year. Yeah, I know. Good for me.
Good for
And
you.
that's all I'll say about that.
Okay, alright. I won't ask you any other questions. I won't ask you any other questions then. Because what happened was, you were responsible until the deuce. Good for you.
Yep. And you know what inspired me to like go over the edge, as it were?
What?
Listening to Kevin Smith on Smodcast.
The
every day.
Smodcast?
Yep. Smodcast, 2 or 3 episodes every day.
From the beginning?
Yeah. Well, not from the
Wow.
beginning. Like, I don't know. It was a weird thing. So, I grabbed a question from Reddit just in case we ran out of things to talk about.
Oh,
And
okay.
I don't know if we have or not yet, but I wanted your thoughts on this. And chat, I want your thoughts on this too.
Okay.
If money were no object, what would you do with your life?
You know, I would still be trying to get a job at Blizzard. Even with money being no object, because that's not the reason I'm trying to get a job there anyway. That's just like what I want to do with myself. And I think it would be in community management, because this is a fucking community I goddamn adore. Maybe I'd have to start like the Crass Gamers League and try and make it an official organization so that Blizzard might try and allow me to be associated with it in some way. And still be the dirty bastard that I am. What would you do?
I think I would turn like my legs into a fishtail.
Like those people who get like elf ears for real, like prosthetically.
Yeah.
You would do that with your
Yeah.
legs, huh?
Yeah.
That's all right.
Nah, I probably like okay. The
I
thing
mean, you know what I would really do?
what?
2 chicks at the same time.
Why stop at 2?
I mean, you're right. If money's no object,
Like where's that bunny ranch?
that's
Still not?
Nevada.
Nevada, okay.
Yep.
You could buy the bunny ranch. You could just go.
Yeah, but would you want to own that?
Yeah.
I feel like if money was no object, wouldn't you just make your own bunny ranch with no other clients but you?
That's true. Yeah, you're right. Nah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you could, like
Hey, ladies, your whole job is to be here and chill and just hang out and do whatever you want and just be there for sex time whenever. That's it.
yeah, I think that's where most people would go, you know? I feel like I would pay for like a lot of cosmetic procedures. And I would also pay for
What? You don't need to get anything done.
No, I'd get liposuction on everything. Like my neck and my face.
But no, but those things
And
are
my
lovely. Those things are
hands.
wonderful.
Leave me alone. And my arms, my stomach, you know, like I just get it all sucked out, right?
Let me ask you this though. What happens when you do that? Does it like question. When a really obese person gets liposuction, like isn't there like a bunch of extra skin? Like isn't there like way all kinds of stuff left over?
Oh, yeah. So you have to get like skin removal surgery, and then you have to start doing exercises to tone it up.
Okay.
But and then I'd hire like a personal trainer. I get a personal trainer, I get a personal chef, I get a personal driver. I get like somebody to manage money for me, and then I would hire like a team of veterinarians to take care of my kids for me, and then I would start like spending money on them. Like I'd get them like all like the vitamins and the minerals, like the nutrients,
The nutrients.
Then I get like the high end like leashes and collars and shit. I'd get them like a psychiatrist and a trainer. I'd get me a psychiatrist and a trainer. And then once like my like body and mind were taken care of, then I would turn my attention to like my gaming rig, like a whole wall of
Whoa,
monitors
you wouldn't
and
even do
shit.
the gaming first?
No, because I'm very vain. No, I'm just kidding. No, I definitely do.
I feel like you could do the vein stuff while you're gaming.
That's actually a good point. Like I could get like the people to come to me, and then I could be like playing WoW.
Oh yeah.
And they'd be like, sucking fat out of my arm, and I'd be like, "Oh, dude, can you? Well, hang on, I'm trying to raid." Like, As I said the word raid, I put my fingers in position. I was like, "Nah, okay, I got this.
Nice.
I'm ready to do my rotation."
Yes.
I do that at work
Awesome.
too. I'm just like, I'll like be typing, and then I'll like go to look at something to like remember it to write about it later, and I will position my fingers, ready to do my rotation. Got my hand on the mouse, and I'm like,
That's funny. I definitely WASD at work all the time.
all the
It's just
time.
a natural position, right
Yeah.
up there with home position for typing.
Okay, everybody, put your hands out and imagine that you're starting your rotation on a boss. Can you start, like, just do it with your fingers? Ready? Go. I'm doing it. Oh god, now I'm like walking forward, turning around, turning.
This is the greatest show ever.
That was fucking cool, right? That's not cool. I thought it was cool. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I think I would just like try to like fix up my body and my mind, and then take care of my pets and like take care of my friends and family, obviously. And then when that was through, I don't know. I feel like I would just try to improve my environment so that I could just stay and play video games. Like maybe move someplace with like lots of windows or something, so I'm not like in the dark. Or maybe I would like that. I don't know. Maybe I'd have like
Yeah.
multiple stations depending on where I wanted to be. Or like I could have different apartments in different cities around the world to play video games
I like
in.
that. Yeah, I feel like you could have every abode you have, every vehicle you have, everything would be outfitted with like top of the line gaming stuff, and then as that stuff evolves, you'd have to keep replacing it and whatever.
Yeah.
And
But
so
the
when you
question
say
is,
like when money's no object, do you mean that you have all the money you could need, and so therefore like you have money to take care of in some way still, or does it just mean that like money no longer exists and you just get everything?
I don't know. I sort of interpret it as like you have unlimited money. And like I don't think the question is necessarily what would you buy, but it's more like what would you do with the
Yeah,
rest
yeah.
of your life, you know? Like
Yeah, it's
you
like
don't
that question from Office Space where they're like, if you had $1 million, what would you do? And then one guy's like, oh, I would invest half in mutual funds, and he's like, no, you're missing the point. It's the question is supposed to lead to what would you do as a person. You've said something though about like an animal sanctuary. Wouldn't you do that too?
yeah, definitely. I like animals, you know? And like I said, I
You
don't
like
care
this-
enough about my fellow man to like invest in people, you know? Animals
Yeah.
though, definitely. Because they can't even make money on their own, you know?
Yeah.
They can't get jobs, and even if they have jobs, they don't get paid. It's not fair, damn it. I saw a bomb sniffer dog this morning. It was
Oh,
real
I
cute,
love them.
but he was very busy and important. So, you know. I also saw, what the fuck was it? A jalapeno pepper on the ground.
What?
Just a single jalapeno on the ground. The other day I saw like an open bag
hell?
of Jelly Bellies just like strewn across the fucking sidewalk. Careful not to step in them. But that's like a whole waste. That's like a whole waste of candy. And the other day I found like an entire tray of pasta. Like it was like one of those like foil like tray pan things, and then it was half covered with tinfoil, but it was just straight up pasta. It was just pasta just laying in Manhattan right in front
What
of
the fuck?
I don't know,
Manhattan pasta.
Manhattan graham pasta. It's
Apparently, you're
native
gonna need to start
Manhattan.
like a whole other Twitter account or something of just like found food or
I
found in
should.
Manhattan or something.
I should, you know. I think Tom Hanks does that, but with mittens and gloves. Whenever he sees like a glove or a mitten in New York, he like puts it on his Instagram.
Is that where he lives? In New York?
Yeah, it's cool actually. The building that I work in, apparently the top floor is owned by Reese Witherspoon.
Really?
Yeah, and she's there occasionally.
Have you run into her?
No, I feel like if I saw her in the elevator or something, I wouldn't say anything.
Why? Why? Like just the stars? They're just like us. Or like
No, I just like I'm too Canadian, and I would assume that I was bothering her. You know, like it's like, oh, just because you're famous doesn't mean like I can like bother you. You know.
Gotcha.
I'd be like, hey, hi, you know, like when people walk into the elevator, I'm like, hi, you know, or whatever, like, how's it going, eh? And then people look at me, and it's just like, I'm just trying to be friendly. But yeah, no, I don't think that I would be all like, hey, I saw you in movies, duh, you know?
Yeah, I get you. Okay, I get you. I can understand that.
I mean, it's cool and all, but like, I don't care that much, and I certainly don't want to like interrupt somebody's day or something. I don't know. I don't talk to anybody.
Ever. So
talking
why
to
would you?
Talk to
Yeah.
myself.
Why would you
All
start
the
now,
time.
right?
Yeah, like even on that podcast I'm on, just all me. Like there's nobody but me at all. I'm just always talking to myself. What? I'm just kidding. I'm trying to be mean to you.
I said, hey, those podcasts
No,
are
I
out
heard
there.
you. I heard it
I
was a
said,
joke.
I said, hey, that those podcasts are out there where people talk to themselves.
That was a joke. Why are you always reading my jokes? You know, I think if like
It's fun.
you went with my jokes instead of ruining my jokes, then we would have like a way better podcast.
I
people
do
be
that
like,
all the time.
I know. Thank you for doing that too. Fuck. I guess.
But I like it. They're actually genuinely funny. It would suck if they weren't. Like, if you weren't funny and I was like, oh, I gotta go with this fucking shit again.
If I wasn't funny, would you tell me?
Yeah, because... Alright, here's another peek behind the curtain, guys, at the podcasting world.
Oh my god, don't
There's
give
a
away too
stuff...
much.
There's some stuff, right? Like, if shit's not working, you have to be honest with each other about it. There have been times when This told me, okay, that's not funny. And I had to be like, I'm gonna be butthurt for a minute, but god damn it, she's right. And we gotta cut it. Because if it's not good for the show, then fuck your ego. This is about the show going on and putting out the best product we can for you guys, because that's what matters.
It is really hard to tell
fucking
somebody
point.
that they're not funny. It's like telling somebody that they can't sing. Why is that so hard? You know?
I don't know.
Why is that so hard?
I don't know, and like that was the whole thing that made that one guy on that singing show,
Yeah.
reality show, like so popular, was that he could tell him,
Yeah, the guy
Just
with
be
the
a jerk.
nipples. Yeah.
yeah, nipple guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the show or the name of the guy.
It's
Just that
I
he
could,
always had nipped out shirts.
I could tell somebody that they suck at like skating or doing their hair or something. No, I couldn't do that. I'm sure a normal person could be like, hey, stop trying to clog dance because you're just terrible. Like you need work. But like when it comes to telling somebody that they can't sing, it's just like
Did you say
Should you-
clog dance?
I don't know.
What does
That's
that
where my
mean?
mind went. What?
What does that mean?
You don't know what clog dancing is? It's like a style
I
of
don't think I
dance,
don't think I do. What does that
but
mean?
it's like typically you wear wooden shoes.
Okay. All right.
Pat would
I don't
know
think I
about this.
knew. I don't think I knew what that was called. I got
I don't think I'm supposed to tell. I don't think I'm supposed to say anything in public, but like Pat Crane is a clog dancer.
What the fuck?
No, he's an active clog. Like he's every what was it like Thursday afternoon. He's got this like whole clog dancing club at the local YMCA, and like he goes and like he doesn't always wear the traditional clog, but he's like a level like orange level clog dancer. Like you get the badges every time you level up, or it's probably not called level up, but like every time you advance in technique in clog dancing, and this is all
Clog
from
dancing?
him. Like I didn't know anything about it. He explained it to me one night at BlizzCon. But like every time you advance in clog dancing, you get a new color, and he's orange, and that's like 5-6ish away from yellow, which is like the highest color. God damn it.
I was really waiting for like how the color hierarchy was gonna go. I was like, where's she gonna go with this? This is coming.
Oh,
What's
fuck.
gonna be the top? What's the color that's the best?
I almost had it.
That was great. That was great. Nicely done.
Because Pat's like in California right now, so I have free reign of the internet to make fun of him.
Oh, yeah.
And I just
Yeah,
tried
yeah.
so hard, got so far, but in the end, I couldn't even fucking, you know.
That
But yeah,
was pretty good though. You were pretty serious for a minute there.
I could have gone on. But it's over now. But yeah, no.
Well, nicely done. I applaud you. And any
Thanks.
chance to make fun of Pat, of course, is important.
It is important. You know why? Because he's so nice to me. Tell me how that makes sense.
That's not my job. I'm not in charge of that.
At least we all know that he is a straight up pimp.
He's definitely a pimp. That's what
Like-
that was gonna be my question to you before you just kept going down that road. I was gonna ask if that was before or after the pimpin', because that was pretty funny from last
It was
show.
after the pimpin'. No, that's what he was up to. Like hiring strippers for things. And sometimes those things ended up in sex with rock stars. Therefore, pimp. And if you guys don't believe me, you haven't listened to the last episode of Lagging Balls where Pat admitted to it himself
It's true.
on the show.
This
Like
is from
now
Pat,
it's
directly
recorded.
from Pat.
It's on the internet forever. You know?
It's true. It's directly from Pat.
Yeah, no. He's a pimp, and I knew it. I knew it the moment I saw him, you know? Like the first time I ever saw him. Ever.
Thank you, Platinum.
person.
It was Simon Nippleman Cowell, by the way.
Simon. Oh, yeah, Simon Cowell.
Yes.
What was that guy's problem?
Nothing. He just knew how to make good reality TV show. Well, bad reality TV, but that's what sells, right?
Yeah, he was always very tanned, was he not?
I think he was very tan. Hey, here's something that came up the other day, completely random, but
My
you saying
penis.
the tan. Hey, you saying tan made me think of it. The term metrosexual was being discussed on Twitter. I forget by whom. But that you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Metrosexual. You remember how that was like a thing? It became a thing, and then they were using that term all over the place, and then then it stopped being a thing. It just is not a thing anymore. People really don't use that term anymore.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think, after not thinking about this at all before I'm speaking, I think it is because, it became less of, I think maybe it dispersed a little bit. Like at first there was like metrosexuals, and then
Mhm.
my boobs are going to do that. And then, you know, once more and more people sort of embraced being metrosexual
Metrosexuality.
or metrosexuality, like embracing other people, then, you know, like these traits sort of became less shocking and sort of like dispersed into society, you know?
Yeah. So
So-
it became ubiquitous. It doesn't.
Yes.
It's not something that's shocking or noticeable anymore.
Exactly.
Metrosexuals are here and they live among us.
Yes,
See, I
they
just think that's really interesting. I think that's kind of like where I ended up with it, and I can't remember if that was part of the discussion or not. But that's like right. Somebody, man, I wish I remember who was talking about it. Cool story, bro. But it was somebody interesting on Twitter because I hadn't thought of that in ages, and I was like, yeah, that term just like disappeared. It's funny how that stuff happens. Some things come and then become something that stays around forever as a term, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Other things don't. They just
It's
fade
funny
away.
when you say metrosexual, I think of that episode of South Park where like all of the dads in South Park become metrosexual.
I don't know if I remember that one.
Because, well, you don't watch South Park because what's the fucking show? Career for the Straight Guy is like the popular show.
Oh yeah, okay.
And so they all become metrosexual, and then they find out that, like, spoilers, like 10 years later, they'll find out that the queer eye guys are actually crab people who live under the ground, and that the crab people are trying to turn everybody metrosexual so that they can go
That's
to
the
the
grand
surface.
plan.
Yes.
I remember that now.
Yeah. Crab people. Crab people. I love that episode. I love South Park. It's so good. Crab people. You know?
Yeah. And so on.
And scene. Yeah. But yeah, so that's looking like a show.
It is looking like a show indeed.
I
I think it's about time to wrap it up. To lock it up.
Yeah, but then we could do like a post show afterwards where we keep talking about bullshit.
Sure.
No, we should do that.
Okay. Well, why don't we sign it on off for the moment, and maybe we'll be back.
Maybe we won't.
Maybe
but
we will.
We definitely will, because I'll be damned
Maybe
if
we
I'm
won't.
standing up. I've been sitting for an hour now. Like, I'm marinating at this point.
Okay. We'll be back. Love you. Oh,
Does the
you got the music going. Oh yeah.
does it even really matter if we sign in and out of like pre-show, post-show, pre-show, actual show, post-show? Like, why do we do that? Explain that to me. I don't know.
I think that eventually, if we were to segment this show out in any way, it makes more sense to keep the hour centralized. Also, it feels more like a full show that way. And also, that's the formal piece, and structure helps with this kind of stuff.
Got it.
You want to reach behind the curtain again in front of everybody? Because here we go.
What do you want me to do with my hand? Reach around where?
I didn't say reach around.
Reach around?
You're just hearing what you want to hear now.
Yes. Yes, I am.
I can understand that.
See, I can see myself, so I'm just like... like, I just want to, like, do stupid shit with my face. I'm always doing that shit.
Always doing shit. You're always doing
I'm-
shit.
Always doing shit. Like, there's never a moment in my life where I'm not doing shit. I don't know what the fuck, you know? I have no idea. See you later, Saphira.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. But yeah, so we had some stuff to mention. So next week is daylight savings time,
Oh yeah.
the time of daylight savings. So
It's the time where the savings of the daylight happens.
we haven't discussed this, but like that's when Azeroth Roundtable is going to enter the 11 o'clock time slot. So we either need to go earlier or late orb.
Early Oro or late orb.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we do like 10 p.m. EST or 12 p.m. EST, otherwise known as the witching hour?
Maybe we should do like a poll.
I love doing polls.
So do I. I mean, wait, what?
I knew it.
No.
I knew it. They're recording Thursday next week? Okay, that's good. So we don't have to worry about it for a week, so that gives us enough time to do a poll. Do like some polls. 2 polls at once. Ooh. Cool, that's cool. Also, we finally updated our Patreon rewards. So if you
Indeed.
are a patron of Lagging Balls, feel free to check that out at patreon.com/laggingballs. And you can find out if you are eligible to get some. Woo.
Heh. Shameless self-promotion. There it is. Boom.
Yeah.
You know what? One of the best things about that is that I never have to fully feel like it's shameless self-promotion because it was a listener who started it for us to begin with, and that just feels really good.
That's true. This you imploded. I have imploded. Okay, can everybody? Okay, apparently only like half the population. Is anybody who can't do that? Can you do that, Florin? Like I don't.
Yeah.
I can't see you doing it. So
Mm.
when you play
Can't see the
harmonica,
screen. You're not watching our show while we're doing it.
no, I'm looking at myself. So when you when you play harmonica, that's called a U hold. So you can play like individual notes easier, but some people just straight up can't do it. I can make a vagina with my tongue. You want to see it?
Yes. You know I do. Whoa. I'll be in my bunk.
Don't. It's not a real one. It's my tongue. I just said.
Aww.
I just said. Yeah, I can do a lot of stuff with it though. There's something else I wanted to mention. I forget. I was too busy looking at my own tongue. But yeah. So you guys, so Zords can't do it. That sucks. Oh shit. So we had our patron meetup last month, and it was mainly North Americans, but we're going to be hosting a APAC and European get together at some point at a time that is convenient for more people, and not just the North Americans, and good for some North Americans who work strange hours and stuff. So look up for that if you are a patron, and if you're not a patron, we can still hang out. It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
We'll
Yeah,
find
this isn't
a way.
totally limited.
No, it's not limited. I can do what. It's fine. I can do whatever. It's fine. But yeah. So Thorn, what are you doing this weekend? What's your weekend looking like?
I have some games I want to catch up on. Some games I haven't tried yet. Do you recall? Here's a little something that you're gonna relate to.
I don't.
When they did the Overwatch Open Weekend originally,
Yeah.
that we got in on,
Mm-hmm.
and then we got a taste, but only the first taste was free.
Oh,
Like any
I
good drug,
remember.
we were hooked already.
It was terrible.
Yeah, and it was amazing when terrible, and amazing and terrible. So we tried other stuff, right? Around that time to try and
We tried
Fill the
everything
void.
to fill the void that Overwatch beta test weekend left when the beta test
Yeah,
weekend was over.
when Overwatch debated us and then left us holding the bag.
It's not
as it were.
technically a debating though, because we knew it was going away.
Yeah, I guess. Fair enough.
Like,
But
Please.
we tried Team Fortress 2 and did poorly and didn't. It wasn't Overwatch, and so we couldn't deal. So we looked into some other games that were shooters to try and get back in that whole feel. And the only thing that we had in common, systems-wise, was like an Xbox 360, I think, each.
Yes.
So we tried Borderlands 2. Do you remember that?
No, I have.
You
No, wait,
probably
yes.
don't, because we did it for like
I remember. I
minutes?
did not like it. I was
because
like,
neither one of us could fucking aim on console. That's why.
console is truly just awful. Just awful.
We were fucking like on the starter quest, like where you first start, and like it's supposed to be super easy and like a throwaway, whatever, and we're just getting just destroyed by these fucking like
I had
little.
absolutely no patience as soon as I started playing.
was
I picked up the
terrible.
controller and I was like, "This is stupid.
It was terrible.
This is stupid." Like all of the hours and hours of muscle memory that I've cultivated
Yep.
in the fingers, obsolete. You know, like fuck. You know, like fuck. You know, because like
You
okay,
know what? Like fuck.
consoles back in the day, that was good shit. You know, but consoles nowadays is like fuck. I don't understand why it's just like shittier. Like I don't understand why there are consoles at all when you could just use PC.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Man, I don't know. It's just that's the rough part of it, right? Because then there are the people on the other side who come from console and feel like the same way, right?
Yeah, but they just haven't tried it yet. You know, they just don't know better.
You
It's
know what?
okay.
And that's why like I really respect people who are switching over. My stepfather is just getting into gaming. Dude is 75 years old, and
That's
yeah, and I need to send him like the Grandpa Gaming Twitch channel or something like that, so he can like have somebody he can relate to or something like that. But he was trying Skyrim 4 because that's something his daughter played a few years ago, and so she had always suggested that to him, and so he's really stuck on trying to learn Skyrim 4. But it's adorable trying to see him like just do the basics like the WASD, just the movement alone paired with a mouse to aim yourself. Just the combination of those two is such a foreign concept that it's like, you know, it's just adorable watching him try to do it. And I want so hard to like help him somehow. And all I can say is just keep at it, man. Just keep going. You just gotta get that muscle memory down. You gotta get comfortable with it. And like, but I just wish that there was something I could like, you know, actively do to help him move along because I know he wants it. And
there should be like an
something
OSU
adorable about that. Yeah, exactly.
for people who don't understand console.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys,
I think that's a show, huh?
I think that's definitely a show. Is there anybody we can throw to? Let's see.
Not seeing.
Wicked Kitten starting up.
She is, but she's not live yet, though. Is the problem. So we'd be throwing to an empty room. That doesn't work.
What's the stream start soon?
Yeah. But the whole
Okay.
fun part of a raid is to throw there and then have, like,
Okay, well,
them
we
react.
can suggest it. If you guys want, go check out Wicked Kitten. She's amazing, she's gorgeous, and she's probably playing HOTS. And HOTS is hot.
I think we can even, like... I think there's an actual raid command.
And HOTS is hot. Go ahead, take that, Blizz.
Alright, everybody say... let's do it, and everybody say... HOTS is hot when you get there.
That's what I said. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Sorry we missed last week. It was just kind of weird, but I love hanging out with you guys. It's fucking great. And yeah.
Alright, here we go. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just in the middle of apologizing for more things because that's what I do because I'm Canadian.
Okay,
so-
Canada, bye! Here goes the raid! I fucked up. Hang on. I did it on the wrong account. It's coming. That's what she said.
Heroes of the Storm is Heroes of the. Exactly.
Alright, there we go.
Bye, guys.
Bye.